Instruments used in gathering this information, so like you use
Yan,
interviews or
what?
like do you use camera in gathering those information or
Aside sa
Ah.
camera, sir.
Okay. No, we just use a pen and paper.
Amazing.
Diba? Kasi that's all you need for you to gather your information. Or if you're going to do research through the internet, then of course you would need.
Yeah, sir, how
so-
do you start? Martin, it's a day, a new day. How do you start gathering a data?
Ano man good, like, for the freeman, like most newspapers here in Cebu, our reporters are assigned to a certain beat. Now, when you say beat, it's like their assignment there. Let's say, for example, they are assigned to cover City Hall, they are assigned to cover the Capitol, they are assigned to cover AFP or police beat. So, those are the places that they only need to go. So, they would get their stories from there. Let's say, if you're assigned to City Hall, then that's where you get your story. So, anything that has anything to do with people in the City Hall, that would be the mayor and the councilors, then that's where you get your story. So, basically, that's why I said that the only thing that a reporter would need is just actually his paper and his pen. Kasi, ayun, we also have photographers, of course, so they have a different task. So, they are not really assigned to a particular beat, parang general beat sila wherever there is a need for us to, there is a need for a photographer, so that's where they will be deployed. Pero, di ba kasi, murag, like if you're assigned in City Hall, you can't get like the picture of Mayor Rama every day. Di ba? His face won't change. No, he's not like Governor Gwen who wants her picture every day. Di ba? So, hindi naman. That's the impression lang yan sa mga tao. But she's a great lady.
keeping it else.
Next.
How do you cater the news that the people want?
Honestly, I don't know, but for me, it's actually the people from the media who would, if you're going to look at it, it's the people in the media who actually dictate what people want.
Oh.
That's what you call marketing and advertising, diba? I mean, they would feed you with trash sa TV, like, tungod kay ingana, or ganahan na sad ka, diba? And that's all you'll see. Diba? So, murag, if that's all you'll see, then you have no choice but to. Eventually, you will like it, you will love it, and it becomes a part of you.
Ito.
Diba? So, murag, ingana ba? That's why there are a lot of alternative media that's being, some idealistic reporters, journalists would really prefer to go into the alternative part of media where you are not dependent on advertising, you're not dependent on figures, sales, numbers, ganun. Kasi, diba, the sad thing is, it always has a tendency to die. Rappler, for example. Rappler was started by Maria Ressa. Diba? She wanted something, an alternative. But eventually, it was bought by MVP. So, ayun, it's eaten up by the system. So, basically, we are being fed by, it's not really what you would call as alternative news, although they would want to prefer not to be called that, but come on, they're still dictated by sales, by, diba, how saleable are their products. Diba? So, but para siyang like, in a way, media would tell you what you want, what you should want, But in the process, the most influential media would dictate on what other media outlets would go into, or what are the, di ba? You get my point?
Yes.
So if this particular media outlet is the most influential media outlet, and it says that mga sitcoms like mga fantaserye is the in thing, then tendency is other networks would also follow. They would have fantaseries as well because maman siya saleable, di ba?
So, how would you know that people patronize your paper, sir? Like, how do you rate your general patronage? Like,
Circulation. So it depends on our number of sales for the day.
For a day? A day.
Yes. So we have at least 70,000 sales in a day.
Wow.
So ayun. So that's how we rate. Like if mo maba mi, there are times like when the story sa katong shooting sa Palace of Justice, we sold more papers that day as compared to any regular day.
Oh.
Because so yeah.
who or what is your general target market?
Our target market would be, I would say, the people who really know how to appreciate their news. So this is not the jobless market. There are papers who claim that they are number one in terms of sales. Yes, we do accept that we're not number one in terms of sales, but then if you're going to look at their market, who are the people who buy them? So these are the people who actually are in need of jobs. So because they have a very thick job market na page, so people buy their paper. Yeah, so that's their. Ang amo, we are proud to say that our market is na sa ABC when it comes to or upper middle class and kasi we could say that we were able to grab the it's not na where kumbaga maragi sector na to ang mga kuan, but then if you're going to look at it, let's say the Cebuano Chinese community, we could say that we have already grabbed that market because ever since even before when the free month started in 1919. So we'll be celebrating our 94th anniversary this year, 95 next year. So since since then we were able to capture the Chinese community, mga Chinese businessmen. So those kind of people, those are our target market. Although we're also trying to diversify to other markets, so like the youth, kamo, diba? So pero we're still looking into that. So depende na sa ato ang.
So, do you have any junk news, like news that can't be published for the day or something?
Yeah, because our reporters are required to submit 2 stories in a day, but not all these stories will be published. It's not because they're not good, but it's because there are more stories that are better than that, or there are more stories that our readers would be more interested in, and we only have how many pages to fill in. So since we can't accommodate them, it's not actually junk, but it's just the most that we can accommodate. So so it's like sa TV. They can broadcast every story that they make kasi they only have less than 1 hour to air it. So ayan na ba. So we're limited to the number of pages that we print.
Yeah, sir, kanang today's generation, we're not into newspapers, diba? How can you kanang advertise yung newspapers to young? Do you do something for that na para mahimo newspaper
Actually,
readers?
I would disagree na the youth of today are not into reading newspapers. Maybe those youth in the cities, 'di ba? Kasi they're more into the internet, social media, and stuff. But then if you're going to go to the provinces, mga kuan, where internet is not that accessible, so they would still go for the newspapers or mga written materials, rather mga magazines, those stuff. But as to your question, as how do we market to the youth sector? Well, it depends on um, what tickles the youth. Diba? So, the youth of today, they want their pictures to be seen. Diba? Who wouldn't want to be seen in the newspaper? So, we have our lifestyle section who would cater to that. So, they would ask youth like you to contribute if you have pictures for this particular theme, let's say summer, graduation. So we can publish those pictures if you want to, di ba? Kasi, I mean, it's a once in a lifetime thing for you to be published in the paper. And once you're published in the paper, you're already part of history. Yeah. You go to Museo Sugbo and you'll see our past issues of the Freeman. So eventually in 50, 20, 30 years, you'll already be in the museum. Di ba? you could tell your let's say your children, your grandkids na I'm in the museum. You go there. Diba? So that's the thing. But when it comes to the internet, you don't get that. It gets to be, although, di ba, that's why we have to also be careful with the internet kasi di ba what happened with the USGR scandal and thing. Now, once you upload it in the internet, it becomes, we can say that it becomes part of history. We don't know, people will upload it, people will download, once you upload it, people will download it, you don't know who downloaded it, eventually it spreads, so, ayun. So maybe you just post something that is not of public interest para not everybody would want to download it. Ayun.
Yeah, sir, do you agree nga ang newspapers ang pinakamasaligan nga for media news
When it comes to
credibility, sir?
All news outfit, as long as it's a news outfit na it's not a blog or it's not some it's really credible because there is naamantay koan, we have a way of checking and counter-checking the stories. So even sa TV and sa radio, they have that, but you also have to be careful, especially sa radio. Kung black timer ba na siya, because if it's kung black timer siya, it's mostly opinion na niya, diba? So it's just like a blog. Diba? So a blog is not reliable simply because there's no way for that person to check and counter-check his information. There's nobody else who can do that, diba? Kasi it's better if someone else, you submit a story, then the editor would be the one to check and counter-check if your story is credible, if your sources are credible. But if you're going to write a blog, you're just the one, you edit, you write, you do everything, and diba? Nobody else checks it. So there's no gatekeeping, kumbaga.
Yeah, it's like hearsay.
But I can say that any news outfit, as long as there is a way for them to monitor their stories, diba? So whether that's TV, that's radio, or newspaper, or even the internet.